Well, because Joseph was a descendant of David, as we discovered in that family tree, as was Mary, they journeyed back to Bethlehem, the boyhood town of the first king of Israel. But as the story unfolds, it tells us there was no room in the inn. There in verse 7, no room in the inn. Now, what is the deal with this innkeeper? Here's a woman who was obviously late in her pregnancy, ready to give birth at any moment. Where was his heart? How could he be so cold? Well, here's an interesting twist on the story. What was the inn? I mean, I don't know what kind of a mental picture you get when you think of Mary and Joseph arriving into town, but maybe you see a bunch of hotels. There's the Bethlehem Holiday Inn and the Bethlehem Hilton, and all the no vacancy signs are on, you know. It wasn't quite that way. An inn back in these days was primitive by our standards, but at least it was a roof over your head. It would be a place where you could come. There might be an open fire to gather around. There would be some kind of food, possibly entertainment, some water, a place to put your animals, and you could get a good night's sleep. That was one word used for inn in the Bible. The other word used for inn describes basically an enclosure, not unlike a corral. It's just basically just a wall that you would bring your animals into. There was no roof over your head. There was no food, no fire, no entertainment, probably some water. Very primitive. This is the inn that is used here, and this is the inn that Mary and Joseph were turned away from. Not a cozy little place to spend the night. This guy wouldn't even move a couple of animals to let them sleep out in the open air. What a heartless man. How could he be this way? Well, I'll tell you how. He's like a lot of people. There was no money in it. And if there's no money in it, he doesn't care. And that's how a lot of people are at worship. This is just a time to cash in, to make a lot of money. But the essential meaning of Christmas is not let it snow or let us shop. The message is let us worship. But this guy missed the point altogether. And it's so easy in Christmas to forget all about Christ. And ironically, it's attending events that sort of reference him, more or less. You know, endless parties and plays and functions and all the things that we're expected to go to. People say, well, I just don't have time. I'm too busy. I can't go to church. I can't go to a worship service. I have shopping to do. I have trees to decorate. I have lights to string. I have to celebrate the birthday of Jesus. So why should I go to church and pray to Jesus? Yeah, good question. We can be this way. You know, a lot of churches put nativity scenes out. And one of the problems that's happened lately is, I don't know why these thieves do it, but they keep stealing the baby Jesus. And this has happened so often. And now they're making nativity sets, and I'm not making this up, with built-in GPS and the Jesus figure. And there was an article about this, and a representative of a church in Old Bridge, New Jersey, said that now that there is GPS in the Jesus figure, he said, quote, there's been no attempt of theft since we announced we're tracking our Jesus. Okay. I'm so glad the real Jesus can't be stolen or he can't be lost.